Homosexuality is a complex social issue that has been debated in recent years. While some people argue that it is no different than any other form of human sexuality, others believe that it is detrimental to society. This article will discuss why homosexuality is considered to be detrimental to society. First, it is important to note that homosexuality is a sin according to many religious teachings. For example, the Bible views homosexuality as an abomination and states that it is unnatural. This means that many religious individuals view homosexuality as immoral and offensive. This can lead to a judgmental attitude towards those who are homosexual, which can lead to discrimination and even violence. Second, homosexuality is seen as a threat to traditional family values. Since same-sex couples are not able to reproduce naturally, some people believe that they are undermining traditional family values. This can lead to a breakdown in the family structure, which can lead to a decrease in moral values. Third, homosexuality is associated with health risks. Men who have sex with men are more likely to contract AIDS, as well as other sexually transmitted diseases. This can lead to an increase in healthcare costs, as well as a greater burden on society. Homosexuality is seen as a threat to traditional gender roles. Many people believe that traditional gender roles are essential for a healthy society and that any deviation from these roles can lead to social instability. This can lead to a decrease in respect for gender roles, which can have a negative impact on society as a whole. In conclusion, homosexuality is seen as detrimental to society due to its association with religious teachings, traditional family values, health risks and traditional gender roles. While some people may view homosexuality as no different than any other form of human sexuality, others believe that it is detrimental to society. In recent years, gay marriages have become increasingly accepted and commonplace in many parts of the world. While this may seem like a positive step towards equality and acceptance of all types of relationships, there are some potential negative effects that gay marriages can have on society in general. The first and perhaps most obvious consequence of gay marriage is that it can be seen as a challenge to traditional values and beliefs about marriage and family. In some parts of the world, same-sex marriage is still seen as an affront to the sanctity of marriage, and this can lead to an increase in intolerance and discrimination against those who identify as LGBT. This can have a negative impact on the social fabric of society, as well as the sense of acceptance and belonging for LGBT individuals. Another potential consequence of gay marriage is that it can lead to a decrease in the birth rate. This is because same-sex couples do not have the ability to procreate in the same way that heterosexual couples do. This can lead to a decrease in the overall population of a country, as well as a decrease in the number of potential workers in the future. Gay marriage can also lead to a decrease in traditional gender roles. As same-sex couples do not have to conform to traditional gender roles, many people may begin to question their own beliefs about gender roles and expectations. This can lead to a breakdown in traditional ideas about masculinity and femininity, which can have a significant impact on traditional values and beliefs in society. Overall, while gay marriage may bring about a sense of acceptance and equality for those who identify as LGBT, it can also have some potentially negative effects on society as a whole. It is important to take into consideration the potential consequences of gay marriage before it is fully embraced and accepted in all parts of the world. The views on gay marriage are polarizing. Many are in favor of it while some are still staunchly opposed. However, a closer look at the economic impact of gay marriage reveals that it can take jobs and money away from society that do support a family. Homosexuality is often viewed as a burden to society, with the costs of providing benefits to a same-sex couple far outweighing the benefits. The economic costs of same-sex benefits can be broken down into a few categories: direct, indirect, and societal costs. Direct costs include workplace benefits for same-sex couples such as health insurance, pension, and vacation time. Indirect costs include insurance rates and taxes. Countries that allow same-sex marriage require higher taxes on heterosexual couples to make up the difference. There are societal costs that involve the government providing additional funds to organizations that support equine rights, programs, and services for the LGBTQ community. The economic impact of same-sex marriage is significant. In the United States, same-sex marriage costs the government at least $4 billion a year. This money could be used for other services and programs that benefit society. In addition, same-sex marriage can also reduce the number of jobs available for those who do support a family, as employers are more likely to hire couples rather than single parents, couples who cohabitate as well as non-traditional married couples. The economic impact of same-sex marriage is not to be taken lightly. While it is important to recognize that everyone is entitled to the same rights and privileges, it is also important to consider the economic impact that same-sex marriage can have on society. By taking a closer look at the economic impact of gay marriage, one can better understand the concerns of those who don't support it. As society progresses and more families embrace the idea of same-sex parenting, many people are concerned with the outcome for the children raised in such families. While there is no scientific consensus on the long-term effects of same-sex parenting, there is a general consensus that there are some mental and emotional disadvantages that can affect children growing up in these families. One of the main concerns about same-sex parenting is the issue of role models. Studies have shown that children ingrained in traditional family models with both male and female, they have better role models to learn from and admire. They are able to experience both genders, and their edited views of those genders can foster a more balanced outlook on life and relationships. The lack of a role model of the opposite sex can affect a child's stereotype of gender roles, values, and identity, which can lead to confusion in developmental stages such as puberty and the onset of adulthood. In some cases, these challenges can lead to an identity crisis or a feeling of unacceptance from society as a whole. Another concern is the inability for same-sex couples to provide a strong parental influence when it comes to sexual development and identity. With only one gender in the household, children do not get a balanced viewpoint on sex and sexuality. While some same-sex couples are open in discussing these issues and providing guidance, the insights can sometimes be skewed or incomplete. It has been noted that children raised in a same-sex family can have difficulty discussing their feelings openly with each parent. Many children tend to be more open and honest to a parent of the opposite sex when it comes to discussing their feelings and emotions. Without this kind of relationship, children can sometimes go without proper emotional guidance even in loving households. In some cases, these issues can cause feelings of isolation and loneliness in children growing up in same-sex households. Many have limited contact with relatives or family members who do not approve of same-sex parenting. This can lead to a sense of alienation and further discourage open communication. Numerous studies have demonstrated that same-sex parents achieve similar outcomes to heterosexual parents in parenting young children, but there remain questions about how children raised by same-sex parents later fare as adults. One area of concern is whether these children end up exhibiting dysfunctional behavior. Although research has long proved that children who grow up with same-sex parents do not differ significantly from peers with heterosexual parents in regard to psychological and educational outcomes, there have been some studies that have suggested an association between being raised by same-sex parents and exhibiting dysfunctional behavior as an adult. One of the potential reasons behind this association is the possible lack of social role modeling. As there are two parents of the same gender, it is likely that there is a weaker capacity to imprint social role models. As adults, children living in same-sex parent households may have difficulty determining the roles and responsibilities of their partners in a relationship that may be same-sex, leading to a greater chance of relationship difficulties later on. Additionally, due to the potentially non-traditional family arrangement, children from same-sex parent households may experience discrimination or bullying when growing up. This sort of stigma could lead to a child to feeling shame or inadequacy, and eventually taking out this frustration in dysfunctional adult behavior. Furthermore, studies have indicated that children of same-sex parents are more likely to have behavioral health issues than children living with heterosexual parents. A study published in the Journal of Adolescent Health found that children of same-sex parents were more likely to have attention deficit disorder, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, depression, inability to form stable relationships, and anxiety. This could be due to biological, psychological, or social factors, but is nonetheless an area of concern. Finally, if one or both of the parents in the same-sex household are struggling with emotional issues or substance abuse, this could lead to a greater risk of psychological difficulties for the child in adulthood. The child may also have difficulty with self-esteem if his or her same-sex parents are not available to provide emotional support, leading to dysfunctional behavior in adulthood. Although research is still ongoing, it would certainly be beneficial for children from same-sex households to receive greater emotional support and fewer experiences of stigmatization when growing up. Additionally, interventions may be beneficial at early stages of development to provide children with models of appropriate social behavior. Ultimately, the key to any successful parenting environment is to ensure that children receive unconditional love and support to help them develop into secure and well-functioning adults.